men in their mid-20s, mostly from the U.S. Army, but also from Allied forces. We are all senior first lieutenants or captains attending the Field Artillery Officer Advanced course. The class is Tactics and Combined Arms Doctrine. The topic under discussion is a military scenario for which there is no definitive answer. Its purpose is to engage our thinking in terms of military doctrine and tactics. How we arrive at our conclusions is more important than the answer itself, which we share aloud, after which we must vigorously defend our viewpoint. This is the tactical situation. You are the commander of a field artillery battery which has 6 guns in direct support of the infantry. Your unit is taking counter-battery fire from incoming artillery. It also is obvious that your ability to support the infantry unit is rapidly degrading. Soon, your firing battery will be combat ineffective and unable to continue its fire missions because of casualties. Meanwhile, the infantry unit is making frantic radio calls for immediate return fire because they're under heavy fire from the enemy and they're taking casualties. As the battery commander, what is your next order? Footnote: Star Trek fans will recognize this from the Kobayashi Maru simulation, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, for which there is no right or wrong answer. Its purpose is to challenge Starfleet Academy cadets acting as captains of a starship to make a timely decision under duress to reveal character. End footnote. So, you ask, what does this have to do with Star Wars? In a word, everything. First and foremost, as is implicit in the title itself, Star Wars is about war. Specifically, its basis is military science, defined as a systematized body of knowledge regarding and relating to the theory, application, and employment of military units and weapons in land warfare, that is, the conduct of war on land, and armed conflict encompassing issues related to the following areas: military leadership, military organization, military training and education, military history, military ethics, military doctrine, military tactics, operations and strategy, military geography, and military technology and equipment. To understand and fully appreciate the Star Wars movies and indeed the ever-expanding Star Wars universe, one must have a basic knowledge of the military science that supports it. Armed conflict is at the heart of Star Wars, an intergalactic battle that encompasses galaxies. It also explains why director J.J. Abrams hired an ex-British Army non-commissioned officer, NCO, to serve as the military advisor for Star Wars VII: The Force Awakens, because movies must have military verisimilitude. To adequately cover the subject of military science, it took G. Kurt Peeler, editor of Encyclopedia of Military Science, $655 retail, a staggering 1,928 pages divided into 4 major volumes. Obviously, a thorough discussion of Star Wars and its relevance to military science would also run many thousands of pages, which exceeds the scope of this book. Consider this book a military primer for the Star Wars universe, Military Science 101, an initial foray into a much larger discussion that is as limitless as its expanding universe. Footnote: Star Wars historians call Star Wars an expanded universe, a term first used by science fiction writer Robert A. Heinlein, which has now become part of the science fiction lexicon. End footnote. The purpose of this book is to explore multiple facets of the Star Wars universe as viewed, so to speak, through a pair of military binoculars. This book was written specifically for the lay reader, the millions of fans who have eagerly snapped up the Star Wars reference volumes of pseudo-history, art books, comic books, and other printed resources that have contributed to the growing body of knowledge about a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, when a great adventure took place, as George Lucas told us in the crawl that precedes the original 1977 movie titled Star Wars, later retitled Star Wars IV: A New Hope. Footnote: To minimize confusion in this audiobook, Star Wars refers to the entire fictional universe, unless it's specifically cited as the title to the